everyone, how you doing? Hope you've had a good weekend. I've been out in the garden doing all my little gardening chores and getting my garden looking all cheery and everything. So hope you've had a nice time. So I thought I'd do a live about using essential oils for fitness, because this is something that I get asked about a lot. And I'm very keen on running. I compete in canicross, and so I thought I'd tell you a bit about my experience using oils a couple of weeks ago. My first canicross competition back post lockdown. It was brilliant, and then talk a bit through about what I use and how beneficial they can be. And this is also beneficial even if you're not into sports, and it just to help you get moving. If you're someone who has perhaps a few mobility issues, this can really help. So I had my first canicross competition. Now, canicross, if you don't know, is running with dogs. So basically you have dogs strapped to you on a harness and a line, and they're in a harness like loads of different types of harnesses, and you run. And it's not cheating, so don't say that, because I tell you what, you run at the speed of your dog. I mean, honestly, sometimes I have gone over, because they've jumped over a log and I've just gone, you have to watch out for the suicide squirrel squadron that, run across your path. They might run under a low hanging bush. You've got to go under there too. And then don't even get me started on the downhills. But it's great fun, and I absolutely love the sport. And, prior to lockdown, I was traveling around the country, sort of about 2 times a month, competing in competitions. And in 2019, 2020, which was our last series, I actually came third in Extreme Female, which is running with 2 dogs in the Canucks Extreme Female. So I was really, really chuffed about that, and finally got to pick up my trophy 2 weekends ago. So anyway, first competition back, it was at Box End Water Sports Park, and it was a reduced course because obviously the heat and everything. And I'm not as fit as I was, so I thought I've got to do stuff to really maximise, how I'm running. And I'm going to do a separate video on my Who Pulls Wins page all about looking after your dogs for sport and things like that. But obviously, number one thing for fitness as well is make sure you get enough sleep. So wherever I am, I always take my diffuser. I've got a little one for my car, a Pilot diffuser with my oils. I've got Serenity, and then I apply my lavender and my frankincense, to get everything really chilled and cozy in my van. And then get up in the morning. Race starts at 9 o'clock, so I'm always up at 7. The dogs have a light breakfast. And then, we get moving, we go up, take them out for a toilet walk and things like that, get my number and everything. And generally what the plan is I have some porridge. I'm really into my overnight oats. So I have overnight oats and some fruit and banana. And then I'll have Terrazyme, which is a digestive enzyme, so it helps release energy. And then I will have a Mito 2 Max, which has got plant extracts and metabolic cofactors, which is also great for energy boosting as well. Now, I didn't do that on Saturday because it was the first comp back, and I wasn't quite back into my routine. So it got to 8 o'clock and I hadn't even eaten. So I always make sure I drink like a pint. So I drink water. I'm well hydrated. I always drink a pint of beetroot juice 90 minutes before I start running, so that you get that increase, and it helps with the oxygen. Nitrates in the beetroot help release oxygen, so it's really, really good. And you can have an extra boost just before you run as well, and it really helps when your legs get tired as well. So always have that. But it got to 8 o'clock and I hadn't had my porridge, and I was eating this big bowl, and it got to about 8:30, and I was like, went out for my warm-up run, and I was like, oh, that's not feeling so good in my tummy. And I was thinking, this is not going to be good. And it was just sitting there. I don't know if you've ever had that feeling, or it's just really uncomfortable. And I'd not taken my Terrazyme, and I was just completely out of whack. So I thought, what am I going to do? So what I did was, we actually have an oil called Zengest, which is, it's just great for your digestion. It's got like fennel and peppermint in and loads of different things. So I literally put a drop of that in water and just knocked it back. And I thought, that's all I can do. Just see, if that works. And it really helped. So by the time I actually got to 9 o'clock, I wasn't feeling quite as, so I was able to run. Now, before I go running as well, I always apply, I've got this because I've got in the garden, Deep Blue Rub. It's brilliant for your muscles and supporting and just getting those muscles working. And once you start moving as well, it just works even better. So I have always apply that to my hamstrings and my glutes, because I do get a bit tight. I've got quite a tight one if I've not been having regular massages and things like that. So always apply that. And then I always apply Air Blend as well, which actually I always have in here, because before I speak as well, I always like to apply it to my throat area, just to stop me sort of getting all croaky. So I always apply Air Blend as well, because it really helps you with clear airways and opens up those airways. So it's particularly good for sports and things like that. And another thing that I do as well, just before I go out for my run, is I'll always apply some air. If it's the winter, I'll always apply it to my gloves. And if it's not winter, I'll apply it to my wrists or my elbows. And so what I do is we then obviously go to run. And then what I do is when we get to near the finish and we're doing the home stretch, and I always say to the dogs, go home, to give them that sprint. I take a massive inhalation of wherever I've put the air, because I'll put it on my shirt as well. And it just really helps open your airways up so that you've just got that extra oomph for that sprint finish. And I managed to sprint finish without losing the oats that were still sitting in my stomach. So that was good. And then we get back, and then I've got a lovely shower in my camper van. So I have a shower, I've walked the dogs around, and we've cooled down and everything. And then I apply more Deep Blue to really help your muscles, because it's actually really cooling, so it's really soothing, particularly after you've been running. So it's really, really nice. And then obviously I'll have a nice breakfast and everything like that, so it's just really beneficial. Now by Sunday I did it all right, actually, so I was quite chuffed, but I was really sore. Oh my goodness, the dogs had been absolutely just machines. So what I did with the Deep Blue, as well as the Deep Blue, I actually put some Deep Blue and put some copaiba under the Deep Blue, which is another great oil. It's really good for musculoskeletal support, and so the two are absolutely create a real powerhouse. So that's what I put in, because I needed that extra oomph, because I was a bit sore. But it was a brilliant competition. It was so nice to be back, and I actually ended up coming away with 3rd place in the extreme female, so I was well chuffed with that. And it was just great to see all my friends again and catch up with people and just get back into the canicross sort of spirit, really, and get my trophy for 3rd place from the previous season. So really looking forward to getting to more competitions, and it's giving me that oomph I needed to really get started, really upping my training as well. Because I always used to have an app, so if anyone's got any suggestions, because I always used to use the Endomondo app, and now that sort of ceased business, I think, at the end of December, so I don't know really what else to use. So any ideas would be much appreciated, because it had some really good training plans in there, and that's what I'm missing. But I've had some good runs, really good run yesterday, loads of hills, and had my Deep Blue, because again I'm a bit sore, because those hills, we don't have a lot of hills in Manchester, so I have to venture out. So I thought I'd just tell you that. So I hope that's answered some questions for people who were wondering about the oils. But there's so many different ways you can incorporate them into either your fitness regime, whatever you're doing, whether it's yoga. We've got some great oils for yoga. We actually have a yoga collection as well. But also, whether you're just doing CrossFit or dance, there's just so many different options. So do drop me a message if you'd like to know more. Stay safe, stay well, everyone. Take care. Bye.